Good morning, welcome to today's video. I'm just riding out of town. I'm gonna go and ride some hills, just over threshold efforts. Gotta keep the legs ticking over while I'm here at home. Got some big events coming up. It was going so well. Bit of an obstacle. So this road is Plough Lane. It's basically the first nice country lane out of London, and it is notorious for flooding like this. Shall I ride through it? I am on the gravel bike today, but that ain't gravel. Need a pedalo for that. So my goal over the next few weeks is to raise my FTP as much as possible. And today's session is actually one that Ken gave me in CADE. It's gonna be 5-minute hill reps above threshold, but not quite VO2 max. So they're hard, you're out of breath, but it's not a max effort. For me, I'm aiming for about 360, 370 watts. I haven't had a chance to do a power test still, so I'm kind of guessing, but my grasp of perceived effort is okay, so it should be about the right wattage. Bit windy today. Right, first interval done. I was on target wattage. This hill, I'm not actually sure what it's called, but flattens off. You reach what you think is the top, then there's quite a fast downhill. Try and maintain the power over there, it's not always a bad thing to do. And then finish it off up this straight. Give myself a few minutes to cool down, just pedal easy. Talking to the camera, probably not helping. I'll put it away, finish the rest of these intervals. I'll be back in a minute. So I just finished my intervals, ran into this absolute chopper. That's a really nice way to raise your FTP. Managed to stick to the wattage okay, because it's not too hard. And if you've got time to recover, you definitely get more out of a session like that than you do riding at sweet spot. Sweet spot's great if you're pushed for time and you can just ride it all the time, but there's no substitute for a 5-minute hill rep session like that. To be honest, I'm just happy that they weren't VO2 max intervals. That would have been horrible. Welcome to phase 2 of today's ride, rendezvous with Daisy. We're doing a lap or two at Richmond Park. So far it's been lovely because we've had a tailwind the whole way out, but as soon as we turn the corner just coming up, it's going to be a slow journey home. Bit easier than CADE.
A lot easier than CADE, but I feel fitter for it.
You've got so much fitter. You've been dropping me up that last climb.
Yeah, that's because you just did 2 hours in the Surrey Hills and I just at home.
Massive downhill coming up. It's going to be a disappointing descent compared to Calder Rats. Tiny bit windy. Just a tiny amount.
Enough to like make sure you're cycling slanted sideways. My favourite kind of cycling.
Bit of lean on you there.
Yeah, it's the fastest I've ever gone up the bench. Up the hill to the bench.
Goes to show, Daisy is pretty much untrained when we hit CADE 6 weeks ago. Pretty big training block when we got there, especially considering she hadn't ridden much before at all. Then loads of rest afterwards, and it's just recruited all the gains, and it's like riding with a completely different person. We're now riding next to each other. I'm trying, she's trying. It's crazy how quick that happens. You got any advice for people who are just getting into it?
Don't push yourself too much. I pushed myself really hard in CADE in the first week, and then the last week I was basically a write-off. We had planned to do a big ride on the last day and I couldn't do it, but I think that was also a mix of being away with loads of elite racers, so I was trying to mentally push myself and it wasn't what I should have been doing.
Even the easy rides were quite hard. That's the problem, isn't it?
But I think I've got a special case because of the fact that I'm riding with so many experienced people. But now I can do sort of casual rides with people around the park and stuff and not feel like I'm having to try massively hard to keep up with them. So rest when you can.
You're doing so good. Nom.
Thanks.
Taking my food. If I bonk on the way home, I'm sitting on your wheel. Yeah, the 6k home, but it's like headwind the whole way.
I'll push you the whole way, don't worry.
Thank you. Right, let's do it. Come on, the wind might change. Maybe. Do the wind dance. Love cycling. So this road's closed, but it's for toads crossing the road. Like toads. I think bikes are okay. I'm being careful. Careful with the toads. Toads. Right, that's 2.5 hours. 4 solid intervals, 360 watts. Legs smashed. Looking forward to a nice steady day tomorrow. Something very cool planned. I'll let you know the details in a bit. Right, so what is going on tomorrow? You may remember a few videos back, I hosted a competition in conjunction with SpinOnThese, the wheels that Drew makes, to win a set of my old wheels. Now, a young chap called Tom won them. his dad entered the competition for him, and tomorrow I'm going to go and see what my wheels have been doing. Myself and Chris are meeting early tomorrow morning. We're going to ride over to Dorking, which is near where they live. He's going to show us some of his local roads. It's going to turn into a pretty big ride day for both me and Chris, because it's actually quite a way to get out there, then do a ride, and then ride all the way back afterwards. There's also one more special surprise tomorrow that I can't really say what it is, because this video will probably go out during the day tomorrow and I don't want to ruin it. You're going to have to tune into tomorrow's video to find out what it is. Anyway, as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.